Hello folks, this week OpenAI released an updated version of ChatGPT named ChatGPT 4.0. Basically, it's going to be faster than the existing version 4 and more user-friendly. And most importantly, it has a much better voice AI interface. But should we be worried as SoundHound AI investors? Let's find out. In this video, I want to talk about this new ChatGPT version and its capabilities, its impact on SoundHound AI as a potential competitor, and then pivot to macro data as the market awaits April CPI numbers on Wednesday. And finally, stick around to the end as I give you my predictions for what SoundHound's share price will do for the rest of the week. Before we begin, most of you are not subscribed, so please hit that like and subscribe button to get instant updates when I post SoundHound videos. Also, I'm not a financial advisor, so take all my content with a grain of salt and seek professional financial advice if you need to. So according to this Tom's Hardware article, this new version of ChatGPT will allow it to become a legitimate Siri competitor with its voice AI capabilities able to respond pretty much instantaneously to real-life voices. It's also got a vision tool which can see objects through the phone's camera, and also it can store conversations in its memory so you can continue past conversations quickly. Let's see a quick demonstration of this new ChatGPT version.
Hey ChatGPT, I'm here with my coworker today. We'd like you to act as our translator for us. So every time I say something in English, can you repeat it back in Spanish? And every time he says something in Spanish, can you repeat it back in English?
Sure, I can do that. Let's get this translation train rolling.
Hey, how's it been going? Have you been up to anything interesting recently?
Hola, ¿cómo te ha ido? ¿Has hecho algo interesante últimamente?
Hola, bien. Sí, un poco ocupado aquí preparando un evento para la semana que viene.
Hey, I've been good. Just a bit busy here preparing for an event next week.
Can you tell me anything about it? That sounds really interesting.
¿Me puedes contar algo sobre eso? Suena realmente interesante.
No puedo decir mucho, pero creo que el resto del mundo lo verá dentro de poco.
I can't say much, but I think the rest of the world will see it soon enough.
Okay, so that sounded pretty useful, but what about when it comes to restaurant ordering, which is a key industry that SoundHound has recently entered? I couldn't find an example online, so I decided to try ChatGPT's new voice AI function myself. Here's what happened. Alright ChatGPT, I'm going to make a hypothetical fast food order. Your job is to repeat the order item by item after me. Ready?
Got it. What would you like to order?
I want a cheeseburger with no cheese, 3 hamburgers with cheese, a hot dog with onions, a chicken burger with pickles and ketchup, and a large Coke with no ice.
Sure thing. Let me repeat your order. 1 cheeseburger without cheese, 3 hamburgers with cheese, 1 hot dog with onions, 1 chicken burger with pickles and ketchup, and a large Coke with no ice.
As you can see, ChatGPT got all of the items correct, but there was a bit of an awkward pause between my prompts and the replies, so I'm not too sold on the whole near instantaneous conversation feature. Maybe it's a latency issue, I'm not too sure, but the product definitely seems to work. So does this mean SoundHound should be worried? Possibly, but here's why I think this is not going to hurt SoundHound, but actually help it grow even more. Let me spend a few seconds to explain a framework that Goldman Sachs came up with to categorize AI companies. The framework is called PEARL, and that's an acronym that stands for Pioneers, Enablers, Adapters, Reformers, and Laggards. Pioneers are the innovators and early winners. OpenAI is a good example. Enablers facilitate the innovators and help to commercialize the technology. What does AI need? It needs chips. So that's where companies like Nvidia come in. Adapters are companies in other industries that change their business models to use the new technology. I guess quick service restaurants are emerging adapters in the sense that their drive-thrus and ordering systems are evolving to incorporate voice AI functionality. So let's put White Castle under this category. Reformers are typically new market entrants that don't have huge legacy costs like a physical office or a fleet of vehicles. I actually think SoundHound could fall under this category. It's basically created an entire market on its own, and it doesn't have huge upfront costs because their main product is scalable technology. Finally, laggards are incumbents that fail to keep up with new technology. Apple comes to mind because they have really fallen behind on the AI race. So even though I put SoundHound in the reformer category, in reality it could be in several. For example, SoundHound is a pioneer in the sense that it developed its voice AI before these LLMs came on the scene. It's also enabling the commercialization of its own voice AI technology by building interfaces that can interact with customers. So in summary, OpenAI is basically a pioneer and SoundHound is a multifaceted company that could fall under multiple categories. So in that sense, they're not really pure competitors. But what could be deemed as competitors to SoundHound though is, let's say some new upstarts begin to use OpenAI's voice AI technology to encroach upon SoundHound's turf and start offering voice AI solutions to quick service restaurants. That is a possibility, but I think we can all cross that bridge when we come to it. Hopefully that competition doesn't come until SoundHound is already making revenues of hundreds of millions of dollars every quarter. Furthermore, the very fact that OpenAI has developed a functioning voice AI interface gives legitimacy to SoundHound in the sense that the more people use the technology, the more people are going to be interested in commercializing it. And guess what? SoundHound is at the forefront of commercializing voice AI, and there's not many companies like it. So if anything, instead of harming SoundHound, I think continued development of voice AI will only serve to increase investor interest in this sector. Alright, so that's enough about AI. Let's move on to something that will be crucial to SoundHound's share price performance going forward, and that is the CPI report on Wednesday morning. Remember, we want inflation to come in below expectations, which will give more room for the Fed to cut rates as soon as possible. And of course, rate cuts are good for non-profitable small caps like SoundHound. In fact, if this week's inflation report comes in below expectations, it will be the final confirmation needed for rate cuts either next month or July, which means equities will rally hard and probably set new all-time highs. This means that small caps like SoundHound will most likely recover to its prior high of around $10 and break out to new highs. Anyway, for this week, I think SoundHound can finish above $6 by Friday. It would be even better if it's $7, of course, but the market will have to have a really good week if that were to happen. Furthermore, something that has been stirring in the background is the rekindling of the meme stock movement. We saw the OG meme stock investor Roaring Kitty come back to life over the weekend, and in response, the market has suddenly started bidding up meme stocks like GameStop and AMC again. You might think this is bad for SoundHound, but the thing is, if the meme stock revival is real, SoundHound could eventually become a meme stock too. And I know some of you might not like that, but I'm all for it if it means the share price can 10x in a matter of weeks, because the whole point of investing is to make money, right? Anyway, like this video if you agree, and while you're at it, you might as well subscribe so you can get more updates on SoundHound. Alright, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching and see you tomorrow.